match day one of the Premier League. Manchester City 1, Chelsea 0. Chelsea were lacking a player like Erling Haaland, but they did all the job. Arsenal, on the other hand, at Emirates, make a massive win to the first side. And City, on the other hand, has the determination to defend the trophy once again. Manchester United have actually started the season very, very well by getting their win against Fulham at home. Hey, Liverpool, we can talk about their away win for the first game of the season. But Barcelona have also made something greatest for themselves in the start of La Liga. Whilst a lot of positivity are on your way, we are going to discuss detail of the Premier League once again, your favorite teams, as we have been doing it for quite a long time. And Ima will join us very soon. And with me right now is Tommy and also Eddie. The season started on Friday. Yeah, Manchester United and Fulham. And then Fulham was absolutely incredible on that game for sure. But then at the end of the day, United made a win out of Fulham. Now let me take you to this. Chelsea done everything, but the gelling is still a problem. What positivity will Chelsea derive from this game?
Yeah, so I think for me personally, I was impressed looking at the way the side played. First, we should understand that it's a new team with a new coach, new philosophy, so it will take time. And also playing against the former champions. So it was not going to be an easy game. But the way the Chelsea was able to control the game, I think it just lacked one or two touches to the team to make it a complete set. But then it's going to be a positive side, looking at the way Chelsea had a beautiful, brilliant game. Uh, Romeo Latvia, I think he had a very brilliant game, and if he continues to play like this, I think Chelsea will find themselves gelling bit and bit, and we will see the Chelsea that we are all waiting for.
Are you disappointed with Chelsea as you being an Arsenal fan competing with City to win the trophy? But then Chelsea are not able to get a point out of City.
For not winning the game. We all expected this result. Nothing but like the best we expected from Chelsea was a draw. So for me, I'm not surprised. I think today they even played one of their best of footballs today. If you just see the team, the way they were passing the ball around, you can see that they are trying to do something. Just that it's early days yet. The players have not played for a very long time, so this adaptability will be a bit of a problem. But looking at the team from the beginning, they tried like they had a purpose. I think Nicolas Jackson was a bit he was a bit slow in the box and it affected the team. But with Pedro Neto coming in, we saw Romeo Lavia's performance. Enzo Fernandez captaining the side. I think maybe they can build upon this to do maybe better in their next games. But for me, I don't think it was a disappointing performance. They were okay. But City is Manchester City, so winning 2-0 against Chelsea is not the news, and it's not surprising.
Not surprising for me sitting as a Chelsea. It wasn't actually, yeah, but this is the first time I've watched Chelsea side. Then I feel like every point at a time can come in. For a very long time, I've not seen such performance for the whole 90 minutes. And today I actually witnessed it. And I think building upon that, we will do something next season. Eddie, it looks like Manchester United, the game you were just afraid of watching against Fulham. And we talked about it earlier, but then United actually became victorious out of that game. What positive thing do you take from Eric Ten Hag? And there was a lot of changes into that game as well.
All right. So talking of Manchester United against Fulham, I think that was the first game of the season. Yeah, and there was too much tension in I think in that particular game because that, as I said, that game was just the opening of the EPL. So there was too much tension in this, and from both sides, when you saw Fulham perform to their apex. And Manchester United also performed to their apex. But at the end of the day, I think Zexi came into the game and probably give us the goal that Old Trafford, the Manchester United fans were looking for. And in the game in general, we all saw that Fulham, so had a couple of chances. They were very, very solid in the game. And Manchester United also, on the other hand, had a couple of chances. Rashford and these other players had a couple of chances, but they couldn't. Their finishing was very, very poor. So hadn't been that they were able to complete all their chances. I think United could have win the game by 3 goals to I think 1 or 3 goals to 0. But All things being said, I think we carried the day by winning the game by 1 goal to 0, and I think that's a good start. So we are still impressed.
Yeah.
That's good to run. And Havertz getting you the opener of the season, and I was so impressed with that performance. I think I won the first half with you, and the way you were reacting as typical Arsenal fan, they are not patient, but then at the end of the day, goals and very valuable points to the Gunners. What's your own impression about the first game of the season?
Yeah, for me, I wasn't impressed. Though we won 2-0, but I think there are certain mistakes we've made in the past, and we are. I can see glimpses of it repeating itself this season. The number of chances we squander in the box, and the kind of play some of the players also are playing in the team. If they could just stop like those simple and those mistakes, they can play better football and maybe get more goals than last season. For me, I think if they had a chance of winning the league, this season is the best. If they are not able to win the league this season, maybe you have to like just destroy the whole project and maybe start from from scratch. I think Arsenal scoring Wolverhampton Wanderers 2-0 at the Emirates is not a news. We were expected a result like that, but from the play, I wasn't so focused on the scoreline. I was focused on their play. I wasn't that impressed. So I'm just looking forward that maybe their next game they will just do something that would impress me. But we got the result, so we have nothing to complain about, and we look forward to the next games.
We look forward to the next game. But then, still on you, Ima, with ASTV, I heard a lot of controversy about them raising a point that, aside from Guardiola, Arteta is the next best manager in Premier League. Do you have the same view with them?
Yeah, because he's shown in the league, and he was second to Pep Guardiola last season. And looking at the performance for about 2 seasons now, you can just say he is next to Pep Guardiola. I don't know any coach that will match him in the Premier League at the moment because right now Jurgen Klopp is no more, and it's only Mikel Arteta, Pep Guardiola, and there are other experienced managers in the Premier League, but they've not been in the Premier League for a very long time. Well, this Aston Villa coach, for example, I've forgotten his name.
Right.
Unai Emery and other guys, they've been in the Premier League before, but you can't just match their performance to that of Mikel Arteta based on the results he's had for about 2 seasons now.
But then they were talking as the one opposing it was actually in reference with Arteta having won trophy for like quite a number of time right now. And then Unai Emery took taking the Aston Villa team to where they are currently. And you can even see the performance at their first game for sure. But hey, the debate is on. Let me know your opinions for sure. Whoever wants to, let's see in the comment section what you think about Arteta being the second best coach in the Premier League. Should we go to La Liga already? Barcelona have made a massive good start to the La Liga for sure, winning 1 away from home against Valencia. Yeah, what do you make up of that game? Hansi Flick he will be very very happy with.
Yeah, so I think everybody knew that the game was going to be very difficult. I think a lot of people had high hopes to see Flick's ball, to see how his team will play. But then, as a Barca fan, I think it's early days yet. And also, having to win 3 points in Valencia is a big deal because it's a very difficult side. Now, what I saw in the game is that it shows that Barca, we are still in need of some quality players because though we have youngsters playing, we still need to get these quality players to call upon when needed, especially for the defensive midfield. I think that is one thing that I saw we had some problems with. But aside that, the team played very well. The coordination is still coming. As I said, anytime there's a new coach, there's always something. It takes time for the team to gel up. So the same thing happened to Barca, but then at the end of the day, we had our 3 points and we are okay.
A good start to Erling Haaland. His 100th appearance for Manchester City, about 91 goals, 15 assists, and still counting. Well, today he has made a goal, but he has for every start of the season, he usually scored 2 or 3 goals, but today has been able to get only 1 goal for sure. Eddie, what do you think about Erling Haaland performance as City striker now?
All right. So talking of Haaland, we all saw his I think his performance. I think last season. Anytime you see Haaland in the I think 18 year boys, it's always very, very conscious and always angry for goals. So for him to, I think, start the season today with a goal is not something surprising. We all know capabilities of Haaland and what he's capable of doing. And I think this season is going to be fantastic. For to start the season with, I think a goal. Yeah, we should watch out for something huge from Haaland. Yeah.
In my Liverpool,
And Slot is trying to stick to the Jurgen Klopp style. We didn't see much of a difference last Saturday when they played the early kickoff. Though they had late goals. I think in the first half they couldn't score, right?
yeah.
They scored all their 2 goals in the second half. Yeah. So for me, I couldn't watch all the game because I was getting some rest. But watching from the highlights, I think he's sticking to more of like the Jurgen Klopp style. You know, 1, 2, 3, quick transition, and they are in the box. Mohamed Salah too is doing like what he has been doing the best for Liverpool, and I think with Diego Jota and the other guys, maybe this season they should focus much on Diego Jota because he will be giving them the goals. For Darwin Nunez, me personally, I don't fancy his style of striking. Diego Jota is more of like a goal poacher. He is not more involved in the play, but when he gets into the box and he gets the chances, he makes sure he puts it at the back of the net. So they should rely more on Diego Jota. But for Liverpool, I'm looking forward to see maybe them against one of them big teams in the Premier League to see how they will play. For teams like Ipswich and other teams that are newly promoted to the Premier League, you cannot best judge their performance when they play them. But looking at the highlights, I think they are playing more of like the Jurgen Klopp style, and there's no much of a difference. Yeah.
Last, I mean, with the Aston Villa West Ham, we saw Aston Villa winning that game away from home for sure. But West Ham made a lot of posteriors in that game. Talking about Mohammed Kudus, the kind of performance he put out that game was absolutely massive. What do you think about the game as well?
Yeah, so it was a fantastic game. I was looking forward to see. I was hoping that West Ham will win, but at the end of the day, the quality of Aston Villa just surpassed West Ham because they did not. They had more opportunities, they had more chances, but they were not able to use them. But later on, the substitution that Unai Emery did led into the goal, the second goal. Now, talking of Kudus, as a Ghanaian, I think I was very impressed. Anytime he's on the ball, there's something magical about him. In fact, he created so many chances, and West Ham should have at least scored one of them. But then, at the end of the day, it's still what it is, and I expect to see more from Kudus. The Aston Villa team is a team that we need to watch out for because the bench is good, the starting 11 is good. I think everyone is good. Likewise to the West Ham team, we saw the likes of Fulkrug coming in later on. But then, as we all said, it's early days yet. I hope to see more from this team. And if this is how the league is going to go this season, I think it's going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. Talking about that game as well, Onana being like his first debut and has been able to get a goal out of that game was absolutely massive for the player. And hey, Premier League is actually massive. And if you just join us and you are new, remember to hit on the subscription button, like and share the video. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your time. I'll see you in the next video.